Hey, how's it going, Daniel? Yo, Octo. Good morning. Almost 4 p.m. over here in the States, on the East Coast. .43 here. Mr. Glick, how's it going? Morning? No, it is not the morning. It is very late. Maybe you can see the date down here. Yeah, but it's 3:43. I wanted to do something. I forgot. Oh yeah. Let me reset my Discord. Also, music is quite loud. My bad. Yeah, it would be pretty loud, huh? Anything before midnight is morning. How's it going, Bloody Screen? Bloody Screen! I saw you followed me. Thank you. Last night. Been copying the state machine. Nice. I'm glad you like it. We're going to be working on it some more today. Actually, wait. Let's see. I probably will work on it. I noticed there's a small bug with the collisions, so I'm going to fix that as well. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Maybe I should take out like a some notes, various threads. Here. Yeah. We wrote yesterday's date and didn't write anything afterwards, so let's write today's date and fix some stuff. So, fix collisions is on the to-do list. Maybe we will make the dash date. Yeah, we didn't make the dash date yet. And I think we'll do some animations today. If we can finish all of this by the end of the stream today, that'd be great. Also, the marathon jam is starting in a day and 23 hours, so I'm looking forward to that too. I'm hoping, like, once that starts, that's probably when I'm gonna go like full send on the game, where like I'm like fingers crossed, I'm hoping I could do like 5-hour streams, 5 to 8 hour streams like every single day. We'll see. Like I don't want to put too much stress on myself, but yeah, if I could do that, I'd be so happy. It's all mental though, right? So like lately, I mean, I've been able to do 5 to 12 hour streams in the past, but you know, you have to get into that, like, you know, into that mindset. So I'm hoping the marathon jam will, like, you know, reignite that. Funny thing is, halfway through doing that, I realized that the idea for my game is actually not quite as viable as I first thought, and I gotta do a lot of thinking of what I really want to end up doing. Yeah, that's fair enough. Honestly, smart on your end too. I feel like many game devs like underestimate the amount of work that goes into a game, and then, you know, they go too deep into it and then they quit halfway through. Make sure, for the most part, you know, I guess I can't stress this enough. Like, make sure your scope is as small as possible, especially if you're participating in the game jam. How's it going, Sticks? Sticks Color. I saw you somewhere remember. Were you on Arts Stream? Was that where I saw your name? Yeah. How's it going, man? Welcome. i3 window manager. Feels weird. What's finally switched to using i3? What is i3? Lucky for me, I started my big game. I'm like all over the messages. All over the messages. I keep responding to like different people, starting different conversations. Isn't Marathon Jam just working on your game? No new game? You can do whatever you want. Like, you can continue working on your current game, or you can start an entirely new game. Wait, did I say that correctly? Yeah. Keep working on your main project or work on an entirely new game. Basically, what I do for the jam as well, I don't think I included it just yet, but there are like parameters that you can include. So if people want to do this, here, I'll show you right now. We can add a new field. Well, there's the Twitter hashtag and tags here, but you can add a new criteria of, wait, submission details. I forgot how to do this. Let's see. Create custom fields. Yeah, okay, over here. So we could do like, you know, if you want a URL for like maybe your devlog, and I'll put it now. Devlog. Optional. So you can, you know, explain what you did the entire time, and we'll make this a URL, and it won't be required. Optional devlog. You can share your progress. I don't know. So yeah, this is, and so like one of the parameters that you're going to be judged on, what your peers are going to judge you on is progress. I hope I put it here. Yeah, right here. Progress. It should be bolded. So yeah, this game jam is more for fun, but you know, do whatever. So like you'll get judged typically as like a normal game jam. So innovation, fun, graphics, audio, polish. Overall is actually just an average of all of these. And then the progress is just an added one. Usually people don't have this in game jams, right? Because like everyone's usually doing the same thing, right? Like it's a 72-hour jam and you start from scratch. But in this one, it's all relative, right? So like I'm going to be working on Memory, which is my 2-year project. So there's not much, like relative to the entire project, I'm not going to make that much progress. But if I were to make, if I were to start from 0 to 100, then obviously I would be making a crap ton of progress. So we just have this parameter here to kind of like even out the playing field. But yeah, I wouldn't say. I would say don't worry too much about the criteria or what you're going to get voted on. If you're active in the community and you give other people feedback, they'll give you feedback, and I think that's the most important part. But there is a ranking, so if you do win, you just get the Discord role, and your game will also get featured on r/solo development. So yeah, we'll just pin your post or pin your game. If you have like a trailer or something, we'll pin it right here. But yeah, it was a pretty long introduction. That's okay. So let's try to figure out what else we want to do here. Fix collisions, dash state, animations. There's another thing that I want to work on, and that's the movement, or like figuring out what we're going to do for movement. I was thinking, because it is a precision platformer, I was thinking to even remove acceleration from the game entirely. We'll see what happens. But I'm not sure. Damn, I'm gonna join solo dev if I win. We'll see. Usually, I would say I usually rank relatively high in the jams, but I think it's because I'm hosting it, so like people are familiar with my name, so maybe they'll play my game, give me a decent score. But I think it's also a double-edged sword. If you're hosting the jam, maybe people don't want to vote for you because they think, oh, he's done this a bunch of times, he probably shouldn't deserve. Like it's also like a social thing, right? Like you have to make a good game, but you also have to be like familiar with the people who are active in that community if you want to win. I mean, it's not like winning gives you it's not like there's a money prize. It's more so just getting feedback and participating in a like a group activity. But yeah, if you want to be competitive about it, it's like, you know, if you want the best result, be a good person, sort of deal, you know. From my experience, at least. You're probably gonna win. I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I've submitted. This game has been submitted to the first one and the last one. I mean, the first game jam and the second one. I've never gotten first, and I think the main issue is that my game is too hard. So a lot of people quit before the game before they can actually even see the gameplay that I've invested so much time into. So like, you know, most people. Well, since the last gem, the game has been updated quite a bit, but on average, I would say most people will end up losing in this section right here. Like a lot, I would say maybe even 50% of people will quit by the time they get to this room. Maybe even more. So it's hard, dude. It's hard to like balance out, like, you know, making the game fun and challenging and, you know, being, what is it, like, friendly towards noobs. It's very hard. What you can do is expand on this mechanic more. Like, ideally what I should do is, like, if we're showing off springs here, we need more rooms to show off how to climb, but even that, like, yeah, it's hard. I actually, honestly, I think maybe we can make another room here. I'm gonna put that as like a note. I'm gonna put this like as a level design note. Spend some more on the earlier levels. Don't you think that's an issue you need to address sooner? So the thing is, and this is something that someone has told me recently, and I kind of agree with it. Like, I didn't agree with it at first, but it's something that I've come to realize is that, like, if you're going to make this type of game, you can't be all-encompassing. You need to pick who your niche community is going to be. So, for me, it's people who are good at platformers or people who are good at Celeste or like hardcore gamers and stuff like that. Whereas like if you want to be all encompassing and make an easy platformer, you'll get more people to beat your game, but you won't grab the attention of the hardcore platformer players. So they're gonna say, oh, this game is easy or whatever, and then they're not gonna play anymore. Whereas with if you get these hardcore gamers to play your game, it's actually gonna drive like, you know, the attention to your game even more. I'd rather get like, you know, let's say I'd rather get 50 people who are really into my game than 200 people that are pretty mediocre about the game. You know, 50 people, I want 50 people to finish the game than have 200 people get halfway through. I don't know what the numbers are going to be, but if those were the numbers, that's what that's what I would want. I was about to mention Celeste's assist mode, but there's enough Celeste in your game. Well, actually, I think the assist mode is actually good. That it is beneficial towards people, so I think I would add it, actually. Yeah. Like, I do want to help the people, but yeah. Ideally, if I can make it easier for people, like, I remember watching a friend who isn't too good with platformers, and they were struggling here, and then they really struggled here. And they didn't even get to this part. So yeah, I think I just need to expand on this mechanic, because like this mechanic is showing off jumping onto a spring and then holding the grab button to get across here, or at least colliding with this wall. And I think it's too sophisticated at the moment. So I think what I need to do is before I introduce springs here, I should like put some extra mechanics on just climbing walls. I did put it here, so there's one right here and there's one right here, but I think I need more. One where you know, instead of having the wall here you can climb, maybe have a wall on the left side where you can climb, so you have to jump from here, and maybe a lower wall here, so you jump and then you get onto this wall and then you jump across. So you know, you have to mess with some level design. And yeah, Saltoons, another streamer you guys have probably heard of. Yeah, one thing that he mentioned was like, you know, like try to expand on the mechanic as much as you can. So like basically kill the mechanic, you know. The way I split up my rooms, or like what I've thought to do for the most part, is I introduce a mechanic, and then I introduce the next mechanic, and then I introduce a combination of the first mechanic and the second mechanic. So, you know, for example, this is the first mechanic. Well, this was the first mechanic, then this is the second mechanic, and then this is a combination of the second mechanic, and then this is another combination of the first and second mechanic, but with more stuff. Same with this, and then I mean, this is just more and more. So yeah, wall climbs and springs. All of this is literally wall climbs and springs. Then here it's the dash orb, and then now it's the dash orb and the spring, and now here it's the spring dash orb, but a bunch of dash orbs, and then here it's the dash orb and the wall climb. So you can see that I keep switching out the mechanics, but ideally what I think I should be doing is adding more levels, especially for the beginning ones that involve the wall climb. If you publish a Linux, I will I can publish a Linux version. I meant to do it. Well, when I released the Windows version, I meant to publish the Linux version, and I just didn't. There was like a bug with it, and then I kind of just said, "Oh, I have a Windows version. Let me just ignore it." But I should do it. Definitely, I'll do it within the month. We'll definitely finish the new player mechanics by the end of the game jam. That's a guarantee. I don't know if we'll be introducing. I should be able to introduce like new mechanics by then, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for consistently streaming and being an inspiration. Thank you, Juho. How you been, Juho? But yeah, I definitely want to stream more. I've taken a small, like, not a break, but yeah, you might have noticed, like, every time I need to like take a shit or something, I'm like, all right, I'm done streaming. I'm hoping by this stream, when I take a dump, I'm just gonna go AFK and then come back 15 minutes later, and then we'll continue working. And that's the that's the goal for the next month. You can even play it live if you want. Yeah, I'd be down. Dude, I'm just lazy, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'll try to make it within today or tomorrow. Top quality content when I go AFK. All right, let's actually get. I've been talking too much. I love talking to you guys, but I also want to stream some quality game dev. All right, so let's go into it. The first thing I want to do is make sure that right here. Wait, let's back everything up. I don't know. We'll call this collisions part 1. Okay. So let's go into our collision manager. That's this one right here. Okay, so what we did is if body.getInteractable is equal to true, then we say we check for player input, and then we activate it. This is a new variable that I added to, or a new variable that I'm going to check for consistently. And so we want this to happen whenever we're talking to an NPC, or whenever we want input from the player, we want interactable to be set to true. So let's grab one of our most important parts, which is, we could also check for types, but I think setting it to an interactable is probably good, because like maybe sometimes we want interactable to be set to false after we've activated this object. So let's go into, we'll go into sign, and let's just grab this here. So we'll say var interactable is equal to true. And this is going to be set for a lot of objects like our, let's grab, and it's part of the NPC. We don't actually have a class yet. And this is probably another thing that we'll do in the near future, is actually creating like an entity class. Right now we're just extending it and then, like, creating our own custom script for everything. Yeah, similar to what we're doing to the player right now is what we're going to do to all of our NPCs and our world. It's just going to, yeah, like I said, it's going to take a lot more time to refactor everything. And it works the way it is right now, so I'm not complaining. So let's get our skeleton NPC, and I'm just going to say interactable is set to true. I guess we could set, actually, maybe setting this to, we'll say interactable lowercase, because maybe what we'll want to do eventually is set this to false if you've already talked, if you've already spoken to like an NPC, or you've reached the limit of their like dialogue. Maybe you don't want them to say anything anymore, so we'll set this to lowercase, set this to lowercase, and we'll check for a lowercase instead. Let's see if that fixed the issue. Yeah, we still don't have, oh, what is going on? Oh, interesting. If I press the D key and then I press right arrow key at the same time, it like messes us up. Oh, invalid index, activate input on kinematic body. So we don't have an activate input just yet. So let's do that. Activate jump. Yeah, we'll call it right here. Doesn't matter where. We'll do it here. Oop. So say var activate input is equal to false, and then in our where is it? Is action just pressed, activate. Okay. Yeah, I also realized we could, I mean, we've realized this in the past too, like, we could just set all of these to false at the beginning of the player input function. I'm going to leave it like this for now. But yeah, eventually we might want to update this. So, let's go back into our main scene. Let's also bring our player closer, because I don't want to keep running through these rooms just to test out one feature. It's efficient. i3, I'll actually use i3 as the daily driver. Okay. What are your like typical day? What are you doing throughout the day? Programming, I assume. Okay, so at the moment we're just displaying this on our screen, and that's about it. So this brings up another issue that we're gonna have. Like, if I was, just working on this game now, what I would do is like I would completely ignore this feature probably. But yeah, right now what we do, our old version of the game, what happens is when you collide with this object and you activate it, the player enters the reading state, but everything else in the game is still running. Whereas what we might want to happen is that if you communicate with an object, we might want to pause the entire game so that the player isn't hurt by, or like, let's say we want a sign or an NPC to speak in a room where there are active threats like the laser beam. So like over here, let's say I want to put a sign right here. If you activate the sign, then this laser beam is going to attack you and kill you. But at the same time, pausing the entire game could also be a problem, because like, let's say we want a scene where where we're animating the player or the NPC and they both need to move around, then that would also mess us up. So I'm not sure which one's the best approach. Yeah, what's up, Chev? How you doing, man? Well, we could do... actually, I don't know. Like, it really depends. Maybe we won't pause the game. We still need to add a reading state, or maybe like a cutscene state or something. Like, we can call every interaction, or like whenever there is a dialogue box, or whenever we want something to happen, we can create a cutscene state, and that'll manage voice boxes, or dialogue boxes and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, Chev, I am currently just redoing all of the player movement, or literally the entire player, in memory. Let me close my door. Okay. So I don't think we will pause the game. I think we'll add should we do a cutscene state or reading? Like, usually I call it the reading state, but cutscene could give us like the potential for, like, let's say we want the player to move around in a cutscene. Yeah, we could do that. Oh, disgusting! You're a Google Chrome user. I'm a Google Chrome user. I'm a Windows user. I'm what else? I'm not using a custom built version of Godot. What else? I am an Android user, so that's one thing that you can't hold against me. Yeah, one good thing. You would be an Android user, wouldn't you? Being an Android user is just comes. Yeah. I mean, I would like to use Linux. It's just every time I try to use it, like, I still use it to build my game, for the most part, but or like to test my games, but yeah, I find it more lately. It's more of a nuisance than anything. Like, imagine having to ask every game dev for a Linux version of their game, or imagine not being able to play an indie games game. What distro? Yeah, the regular one. Ubuntu. Yeah, using both is probably best. Okay, yeah, I'm getting so distracted, not even getting... Oh, wait, did we fix it? We fixed getting into it, but yeah, we don't have a reading state yet, or cutscene state. Ubuntu is the regular one. Yeah, the normal. I'll take one regular distro. Here, I'm trying to think. Should we do the dash state? Here, let's finish what we started. So I'm gonna make a new node here, and we'll call this. Should I call it read or cutscene? I'll call it cutscene. It'll give us more potential for the future. And I was thinking we could even make this more complex, where we can have like inside of our states. Like, I definitely am gonna do this for the neutral state. In our neutral state, we might start adding like, you know, the rope swing state, and inside the ropes, like, actually, maybe not, like, just because the code wouldn't be too complex. But I guess it depends on how many states we plan on adding to the neutral state. So we have the rope swing, we have maybe the teleport. We have the teleport state. Teleport. Oh, I'm typing teleport into the create new node. So yeah, we could have teleports in here. Teleport. Probably gonna delete these nodes, but yeah, like we could throw everything in here. Or we could just throw in all of the functionality in here. Like we could just have a func teleport section here, or like a match statement to match everything inside. I don't know yet. What rope? So if you look, it's not technically a rope. It's like the spinning mechanic, if you've seen it before. Best compatibility layer, Windows. Yeah, gaming is probably the #1 reason to have Windows. The crystal thing? Here, I'll just show it. We have to delete this player? Or, you know, I'll just show a video of it. For those of you that don't know, you know, I should get a bot too to like I feel like I don't promote myself as much as I should. But yeah. Right here. That one. Yeah, you probably show. Aren't you close to release? Not really. I don't know, dude. There's so much to do. That's a bad name. Damn. How's it going, NFCat? How you doing? Welcome. There's always lots to do. Yeah, I think the biggest issue is going to be level design. There's just so much, like, so many levels. Like, even when I dedicate, like, it takes me an entire, I would say, like, 3 to 4 hours to make one room, sometimes. Introducing a mechanic is pretty easy. Like, if we're introducing, you know, like, a room like this takes maybe 20 minutes. Like, it's very simple, but, like, figuring out what to do here takes a while. This room, I think, took me like 3 or 4 hours. Or yeah, this room definitely took me like 3 or 4 hours to make. And it's just, I guess it just takes time. Like, if you get used to the mechanic, maybe you'll get better at like figuring out where things should go. But yeah, at the moment, it takes the most time. So is writing the mechanic, but like with writing the mechanic, you see the progress you're making, right? Like once you see, it's like, it's objective. You know, you see, oh, like I make this work, oh, it works, and then, oh, there are no bugs, oh, or there is a bug and you fix it, you know. Whereas with level design, it's like, will people like this, or will this make sense for people, you know? I think you should optimize level creating as much as you can. Level creating in terms of like my process, or like making level editors, because making level editors is, I mean, I think Godot is good enough for making, like, if you want to make your levels, Godot is pretty decent at that. When it comes to optimizing, like, or like making levels itself, it's just, oh yeah, the process. If you're talking about the process, then it's like, it's just so subjective on how to get good. But I think getting good just involves, you know, making more levels. But it's also my least favorite thing to do. I like coding mechanics, you know, that's my thing. The idea of naming levels is usually, levels. It usually helps with sticking to a theme for each level. Yeah, I agree. I should be looking up more like ways of approaching level design. It's just, yeah, like I said, it's one of my least favorite things to do. I wish I enjoyed it more, but we're gonna set it as a goal for the game jam because I think we'll finish the player code relatively soon. If I don't get distracted or I don't give up. All right, let's make the cutscene. Let's save this as a branch. Let's go into scenes, entities, player. We'll call this the cutscene scene. And save this. And extends state.gd. Gotta have a sewer level? Yeah, a sewer level is an idea. I remember I had a bunch of stuff written somewhere in one of these sticky notes. There's like different level design ideas. Also, I want to work, dude, there's so much to do. I want to work on the level design, on refactoring the player. I also want to work on a better story for the game. Automod is just bad. Yeah, it might be. I really have a hand for tripping people's automod. You know, I never even set up an automod. I think it's just Discord. Twitch has their own automod running. Unless maybe somehow because I have it set to like, I want to say like moderate, like, or something like that, where like you could say basically whatever you want. You just can't say offensive stuff. But it doesn't seem to listen to my like my parameters. I think it's because there might be just a lot of like super immature people on Twitch, and they get reported a lot, and then Twitch's bot is like, oh, okay, this is bad, and then anything you say on my stream becomes bad, even though I know you're not trying to be offensive or anything like that. And here I was thinking the character controller was perfect. Are you talking about my game? Because if you are, like in terms of for example, Two Towers, a vertical level where you're climbing up the. I'm sorry if I missed anyone's message. I'm a slow reader, and sometimes I just miss stuff. Climbing the wall between two parallel sections. That's not a bad idea, actually. Let's do it. Practical NPC would love to help you out with level design if you want. I appreciate the help. Like the only way that I could like accept people's like help with the game is that if I made something involved, like if I made a community level editor in the game or something like that. Because like accepting help becomes a sticky issue when like I try to release something commercially. If you know what I mean. Because then like yeah, it just becomes an issue. So I tend to not want help from people unless like if you want to. I don't mind honestly backseating when people want to like backseat. Like I appreciate any help in that area. But when it comes to like if you actually made a level for me, then it becomes weird, or sticky. Where they were playing MGS2, and we realized that you can refer to many drugs with their accurate terms, but not by slang. Interesting. I guess that would make sense. Do you know Ben Bonk? He's getting tons of art from his fans for his Steam release. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, like the thing is, he can do that if he asks them to sign a contract. Yeah, and that's like I just find it weird. Like, I don't want, like, if you're helping me with something, I don't want to be like, oh, thanks for the help. Also, here, sign this contract saying I own the shit you made. Like, I don't want to do that, you know? I'd rather just save everyone the trouble of, like it just, I feel like it hurts the relationship with people. Don't monetize the game. That's actually something interesting that you're bringing up, because I do plan on making an open source version of the game. So, like, I need to make money somehow, and that's why I'm releasing something on Steam, but I also plan on making an open source version for people to do whatever they want with, or just to play the game. This one won't include the assets that I've paid for, or that I've made, or that I've bought. But yeah, the open source version, if someone wants to help out with the open source version, let's say you want to make like a sprite sheet or something, then yeah. Just don't be offended if it's not good enough, because you're competing against also just free assets online that I don't mind using since it's an open source project. 10 in Twitch and 1 on YouTube. Yeah, Twitch is usually a lot more popular. I don't know why, but like early on in YouTube, I was getting a lot of views. Like, I remember one time I got like 40 views, and then that happened once, and then it never happened again. Pretty much like Sprite, they sell the software but also release it for free if you want. Yeah, exactly. I don't remember the game, but I know someone also released their game on Steam, and they also allowed for people to torrent the game if they wanted to. The open source Sprite isn't published by the same people. Is it really not? I didn't know that. Well, publishers and the developers are different. Yeah, I know Chev built Sprite. All right, let's look at our cutscene here. So I'm gonna do let's do some light programming, and then I'll keep talking to you guys afterwards. Let me get okay. So on activate, we want to make sure that the player is entering the cutscene state that we've just made. So let's go into, let's do it in our idle state for now. What we'll do is we'll say if player, but we need a signal of some kind. So let's also say enter, I don't know if we want to say like enter cutscene or something like that. I think that's what we did in our old version of the player. But let me just see what we can do here, because what we could also do is go into our player scene in the area 2D here. We can say var enter cutscene is equal to false, and then, you know, whenever we activate our body, or whenever we're talking to whenever we're managing a collision here, it really depends on, let me see here, what type of body we're colliding with. So let me think about this. We could check for player input on this manage collision too. If player.activate input is equal to true, body.activate and collision is true here. Either we could have, it's hard to say. We'll definitely have an NPC here. And we could say enter collision. Or, sorry, no, enter cutscene. And this is what, like, our determining factor would be for, you know, entering the cutscene. So we'd say this is true. We would also need something to exit the cutscene. But this would happen once you, let me think. Because we could set it to exit like 1 frame afterwards, or we can have it exit the cutscene after the player is done talking, or after they exit the cutscene state. Another thing that we want to do is in our states here for our children, or like for our parent node, is include cutscene here. So we'll say onReadyVar cutscene is equal to this. Paid for Acebright, but still built it myself because I own it on Steam, and it's annoying if Steam tracks software use. You could still run it without using Steam. Do you plan on having different areas in the game? Yeah. Originally, I actually did have different areas, but for the demo, I just took everything that I liked in every area and I just plugged them. I stitched them all together. Okay. Cutscene here. Let's see. We don't have a neutral state yet, or we don't implement the neutral state yet. Let's go back into our area, or we could do... Let me think about this. We still haven't figured out what exactly we're going to do here. So we run manage collision, but this happens regardless if we talk to the player. I think what we'll do, if body.has method activate. Because we could throw this in here instead. We would just need to make sure that manage collision is happening managing enemies and spring needs to happen somewhere. That's not on this little section here. I think we could also just say else. I just realized, I'm still a little slow. Could just do that. Like we do need manage collision to run everywhere. But then why would I not need it here? Like why can't I just... Here, let's just try this out. I think the main reason is that we need this activate function. If it has the activate method, we only want it to activate when activate input is set here. Otherwise, then it'll activate if it doesn't have that method. I think that's why we need this here. If we just put it on the bottom, it wouldn't work. And that's why. Steam is spooky. What's the Epic Game Store? I think anything that's like, a big enterprise becomes spooky, right? Just like Google is spooky. Okay, does this work on its own? Let's hope. So if we manage collision, then if it's an NPC, if the body.type is, do we set this as an NPC usually? Okay, yeah, we do. All right, let's see if this works. Even spookier, Microsoft. Dude, I've never even touched the Microsoft store. Okay, so we do activate it the same way, but now we need it to actually send a signal to the player that they're in the read state. So from the player state in their idle state, we're going to say if player, if player dot, we actually don't need to say dash or activate input. We can just say if player, if we can spell player, or wait, if states, is it a state? It's not a state. It's our, let me go into our state.gd. We need a reference to the area 2D. So this is what I'm trying something out. I'm trying something new, and that's to add like separate code managing our collisions here. So we need a reference to this player area 2D. So let's go over here in our ready function. This is where we set our states variable, player variable, animation variable for each of our states. We'll say state dot. We can call this collision manager. I don't know if that's a good name because it is technically an area 2D, but I'm gonna call it a collision manager. Collision manager, because that's what we're gonna do here. Is equal to This might be confusing for people though. Maybe in the open source version. I'm trying to think, what is a better way to do this? You know, maybe I should just call this collision manager. And do this. What's going on? Oh. Area 2D collision manager dot player is equal to self. Okay. And we'll do this. Just assume everything is confusing for people because most of it is. Yeah, it is confusing, but I think we could mitigate the amount of, you know, confusingness that we can put onto the viewer, I hope. Yeah, okay. State.collision manager. Let's make sure we created this variable. So this is equal to null. Wait. Yeah. Okay. Collision manager is equal to null. And now when we go into our idle state, we'll say if collision manager dot, what was it called? Enter cutscene is equal to true, or yeah, or just dot enter cutscene, return states dot cutscene. So another approach would be to make like another thing that we could do technically is use signals, like use the player inbuilt signal, like, you know, create a signal here, and then say emit signal, enter cutscene, and then connect these two signals. The issue is that because we're using 3.5 now, but we could technically switch to 4.0 or whatever next 4 version is. I'd like everything to be consistent. That way, if I were just to copy and paste this code, it would work out. I also don't really like working with signals as much. I like communicating this way. I don't know. I think it's a preference, but I feel like I think people would agree. But yeah. Just use syscall to delete the kernel. What are you talking about? Also, the Epic Game Store, is it actually spooky? Like, I've heard decent things about the Epic Game Store. Especially with the, what is it? The percentage that they give developers is a lot higher than what it is for Steam. Dude, there's like hair in my eye or something. Gonna record another video. See you in a bit. Alright, sounds good. I should be doing the same thing. Alright, return states.cutscene. Let's see if this works. I don't know if we finished all the references. States.cutscene. I think we made the state. Let's see. Oh, area 2D dot update. This is now, what is it? Collision manager? Going to be more spooky than Steam, which is probably how they make up the money they lose on taking less from devs. What's spooky about them? Like, everything I've seen from them seem, I mean, I guess because they own what is it? What's that game called? The freaking battle royale game, Fortnite. And I've heard some shady stuff about that, but that's like with every company, right? Like with microtransactions and taking advantage of like children and, you know, their parents' credit card and stuff like that. Okay, why are we not entering states.cutscene? Index cutscene on node states. Oh, oh yeah, wait. Yeah, this should work. Let's look at states. OnReady var state. OnReady var cutscene is equal to cutscene. Cutscene. Oh, we wrote cute scene. Huh. They also own Bandcamp, and they already had a workers' strike or something since they bought it. I see. They also own Sketchfab and ArtStation. Oh my goodness, they're buying the whole pipeline. Wow. That's actually crazy. Okay, there we go. Now we're in the cutscene state. Nothing happens yet, but like at least we can get into the cutscene. And with that, like, I mean, we'll run. How I have it currently working is you can see this text box runs in our viewport canvas, or sorry, in our UI canvas. So if I go into it, you're gonna see how messy it is. But yeah, we have this text box node right here, and this is what communicates, or like what we show to the player. And it's very, I think it is a little sloppy. I kind of want to avoid it as much as possible. All we need to do is just make sure player input is reading, or sorry, is running. And I actually don't remember what player input is. Let me see. Oh, okay. If activate or if jump is ran, then that's it. So honestly, what we could do here is we want to match what the current version of the player is, since we have like, you know, the old. I don't want to touch the code at all, or like I don't want to manipulate the code too much, because I don't. If let's say for instance we want to go back to our old version of the player, we can. Just to like compare stuff. So what I will say is if level manager dot player node dot like version dot version is equal to 1, we'll run this and just say else for now. Wait. Okay, yeah. Level manager dot player. What is this? Oh, right. We need if statements here. So ArtStation shop, Sketchfab, etc. So that's like everything. ArtStation. I don't know much about Sketchfab, but I know ArtStation is more for like the corporate world, right? More, I mean, like ArtStation is used a lot for like portfolios in the corporate world, right? Compared to like indie development, for example. ArtStation has a lot of concept art. Automod, you're a disgrace. You know, I wish I could even see what's happening. Like, I wonder if it's because OBS is kind of simple on its own. Let me see. Let me look at my phone. See if anything is different on the like stream manager or whatever. All right, we'll see. So far, it hasn't said anything, but I believe it probably is pretty crap. And they're buying more stuff. Well, yeah, that is the corporate environment, or that's capitalism, right? It's actually so scary. Like with everything going on, you know, like AI and corporate, like the big dogs are only getting bigger, and then you know the gap between, you know, the small people and the bigger people, it's just only getting wider and wider, and it's crazy. like as a game dev, or like as someone as an aspiring game dev who wants to like make this my my main source of income and everything, and make this like self-sustainable, it's a pretty big concern, because like if they can outsource, well, one, if they can outsource everything including games, like if they could just pop up games left and right, then it becomes a problem for the small dudes, right? Or if they could use AI to make the games, that would also be a problem. Wake up, capitalism, monopolies. What are you talking about? Time to work on on the potato field. Well, you joke about that, but like I think the only jobs that are going to be left for people are the like blue collar, like actual labor jobs, and eventually that'll even be outsourced to the quote unquote robots. Not yet though, but yeah, like software is the first thing that's going to get outsourced, or a lot of things are going to get outsourced in the digital realm, and then eventually it'll be maybe we'll have the robots, and then we'll have the the robot revolution, and then all the humans will die. Maybe we'll make a game about that. Surely that hasn't been done before. Literally cheaper for companies to have people mistreated than replacing them with robots. At least for now. Like a lot of things are getting outsourced to like programs, or like things don't really need active developers for. Sounds like an awesome movie. Yeah, like maybe you can call it iRobot, or maybe we can call it like, if we want to make a video game about it, we can make it. Maybe we could call it like Detroit Become Human, or what else is out there? If you've ever seen Love, Death, Robots, they have some AI revolutions there. Oh, if you've ever seen the Matrix, maybe you'll know a little bit about it. Or wait, what do I mean? We could call it The Matrix. That is a good film name. Level manager, the player node. What am I trying to do here? Dot player node. Dot current state is equal to states. Oh, how do I do this? We could say dot current state dot get name, but I don't know if that's a good approach. We could say dot current if current state. We could say this. Well, this should only happen in the cutscene state, but there's nothing for us to check if the player is in the cutscene state unless we like make a reference. We could do this in our level manager or something, or make some sort of singleton that allows us to like. Or we could say this. If level manager dot player node dot current state is equal to level manager dot current state dot states dot cutscene. Could do that. I wonder if that's like a good approach. If level manager dot player node dot current state is equal to level manager dot player node dot states dot cutscene. Let's see. Bing chat already wants to eradicate humanity. How about we go for more action and call it Terminator? I like that one. Terminator. And I think, a younger version of Arnold Schwarzenegger would probably be a great actor for that film. Maybe we can use like AI to like, make him look younger and put him into the film. All right, there we go. And okay, it works now. Except now we're in the cutscene, and that's because we don't have anything nothing happens after we write next text, at least right now. And I'll fix this code later. Let me just see if we can figure out how to just end. Okay, deactivate text, and we say is reading is equal to false. So what we'll do here, also set physics process. We actually do pause the game here, but I might not want to do this. We might actually cancel this out. So yeah, somewhere in our game we're canceling the physics so that we're iterating through the text box, but the entire game is paused, so like nothing happens. But let's say we wanted an animation to happen, or like an actual interaction between a player and an NPC. We would have to remove this, but I won't worry about it just yet because that requires time, effort, and money, and all we have right now are text boxes. I'll fix that later, and other lies developers tell themselves, yeah. Yep. Is the story of the game set, or is it still open for ideas? I do have a general idea for the game, but it is very with the title and everything like that. There's still a lot of room for editing the story. So like the current story is about a person who has died and now they are a lost soul within the realm. But I don't know if you guys want. I'll spoil it. The game, there's nothing set in stone, so I'll say it now. But basically, the player is a lost soul, but they're not necessarily dead. And I was planning on having multiple, I might be overscoping the story, but you're in the shower or in bed and you're thinking about all of these ideas, and this is what I came up with, where it was like, oh, the player isn't actually dead, and depending on their gameplay or what happens with the decisions they make, you can have multiple endings in the game. But yeah, that was my idea. And how the game works is you would help other lost souls. So there's other people that are in this limbo area, and you just do things for them. Not like actual missions, but you kind of just progress through the story. You help them more in a linear fashion, and then you find out at the end that the last lost soul, quote unquote lost soul, is you. No hidden arc. Can't believe this. No double meanings. I mean, there are a lot of double. I mean, memory is a double meaning right there. I mean, what is it? Double entendre. I wonder if I'm even using that. I've been saying double entendre lately, and I don't know if it means the thing that I mean. Two interpretations. Yeah, kind of. Okay, yeah. Because memory is memory, hey, I lost my memory. But then memory means it's like a play on words of memento mori, which means remember that you're going to die. So yeah, we were using it correctly. I did listen in English class. Here, let's do level manager. We'll do this for now. We'll say level manager dot player node dot. Oh. I'll just say match level, make our life easier. But not is reading is, we have to do this. I don't know if I like this. I don't know if this is a good approach. Level manager.player node.current state is equal to level manager.player node.current state states.cutscene. It's very, very weird approach, I think. Double entendre is used for taboo stuff, I think. You might be thinking of innuendos. Maybe. Oh, wait. We have to set this to current. We can just say player node.cutscene. Oh, wait, no. We have to say. My bad. We have to say level manager.player node.states.cutscene, or wait, yeah, that cutscene dot exit cutscene, you could say, is equal to true. We don't have a variable for this yet. So player node dot states dot cutscene dot exit cutscene. Okay, so how are let me look at the chat. Will there be Easter eggs? Yeah, there will definitely be Easter eggs. Also, I don't know if I was talking out of my ass about the double entendre thing. I don't know if it's actually used for taboo stuff, or I know innuendo is like, you know, kind of a. Wait, now I don't remember. Let me see. Innuendo, but not by elusive or oblique remark or hint, typically suggestive of disparaging one, like making sly innuendos. You know, I always found funny innuendos are like, or like the word innuendo sounds funny because it's like in your endo. Very, very immature on this channel. All right, let's finish this up. Let's do func update. And delta. And all we'll say here is if exit cutscene, return states dot idle. Okay, and that is it. Another thing, we'll have to see if this is enough. Oh, and return false or null. And also on the entrance of the scene, we want to make sure func enter state equal, on enter state exit scene is equal to false. Okay. Wait, did we set exit cutscene to true? Just want to make sure we did that properly. Level manager player node states cutscene is equal to exit cutscene. We could also say current state, but I'm gonna leave it like this. This ensures. I don't think there'll ever be a point where the current state would be different, but you never know. Double entendre is more like usually like wordplay. I see. Yeah, that's. I guess then wordplay is kind of was my sort of approach. Okay. We're not exiting the cutscene state. Let me see here. On update, exit cutscene. On enter state, it's equal to false. You know, something that has been weird, I think this was on Godot 4, but my match statements weren't working, and I wonder if it has to do with that. So let me see. If it works, then I know either I'm dumb or stupid or dumb. Also, with music and stuff, can just release it as open source and yeah, just use it. No licensing issues. I see. Did I miss? I thought that you could have somebody that wants to help you escape and he teaches you the mechanics so you can avoid signs. That's also a pretty good idea. There we go. Wait, what the hell? Okay, also, when it comes to music, I'm very picky. Okay, wait. We enter cutscene, and then I press E. We set exit cutscene to true. Let me make sure this is happening correctly. Match version is equal to 1. Let's print this out. Oh, you know what? Wait a second. Why are we setting set physics process to equal false? Set physics process to true, and then here it's false. Like, this is literally the opposite. Oh, this is set physics. My bad, my bad. This is set physics process of this object here, not the. I don't think we even run physics process here, do we? Oh yeah, we do. Okay. Not too important. Okay. But they're both used for more awkward and offensive stuff, I think. Gotta leave some room for the speedrunners. Yeah. They... so far, I don't think there are any bugs in the game that would at least break the game. There's one mechanic, actually, that... It's not game breaking, but it does allow for speedrunning. But I think I'll keep it. It's right here, or like in any of these cases, you can fudge up here, like you can go underneath, and if you hit this corner, you'll get pushed up here, like up into this corner, and then you can hit this spring. A little tech for those of you that are interested in speedrunning. Same with like this wall, or like any time there's like a spring here. Let's see, like right here. You could actually dash here, and instead of going for this this orb right here, you could just dash like from here, from getting this from hitting this spring, you get across, and then once you're here, you just dash, you hit this, and then you get across. But I think it's a cool tech, and I think I'll keep it there. I'll be right back. Alright, let's see what's going on. Switching to say cutscene. Oh. It doesn't seem. What the hell? Yeah, this isn't printing. If level manager.player version is equal to 1, we say is reading is false, else. Oh, wait, we didn't print anything. Exit cutscene var equals true. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. So on input, immediately we're switching back into the idle state, and then from the idle state we're switching back into the cutscene state. So let me just see our idle state. What are we checking for again? Oh, if collision manager dot enter cutscene. So after we exit the cutscene state, we want to make sure that enter cutscene is set to false. So let's do that. Oh, wait. We could reset this on the idle state. That's what we should do. Collision manager dot exit cutscene. So we could either put this right here, or we could just reset it every time we exit the state. I'll put it right here actually. Just like that, and should start working on some music as well. I love working on music, or like it's very fun in the beginning, and then I quit. Okay, so this works. Right now, if I press the jump button though, you can see that we're jumping. Like you could either press the activate button or the space button, or like the jump button to activate this hitbox. And another issue that happens is you could technically hit this, and then once the conversation is done, you're still in the hitbox, but you can't activate it anymore. Only when you go back into it can you activate it. I'm not sure what the right answer for this is though. I think maybe we will give them the option to, but we also need to make sure that jumping doesn't happen after I press this, because you can see I press E, we talk, and then I want to continue the conversation. I press space, and then I jump, which I don't want to happen. So what we need to check for is, well, what we could do in our player controller, which is this right here. We can check for specific edge cases, or what we could do, I'm trying to think what is a good approach for this, because we're going to go into the idle state, and then jump input is set to true. Let me see something. This is from the idle state, right? Let me see. We go exit cutscene, then idle, and then jump input. Okay, so if we go into our idle state, activate jump is set to true, and we jump. Let's do this. our cutscene, we could do this. We could just literally just say, let me see, player. I think this will solve it. There we go. So I'm just pressing it once. Okay, the next issue, 95% of the tracks I start, I just grab. But it's still a nice, relaxing yeah, it is, the process itself is a lot of fun, in my opinion. There's a lot of musical talent present in this chat, I see. Yeah, I've actually noticed, yeah, a lot of people into game dev. I mean, yeah, a lot of people that are into game dev are also really into making music. I guess because it's like a creative outlet, right? Like, I think that's why I like game development too. Like, I think it's my only creative outlet because I'm not too good at making music. I'm also not too good at art. But I would say I'm decent at making video games. Better than the average person who's getting into it. But I do like the programming aspect too. I don't think I'm an amazing programmer, but I think I'm good at programming mechanics. I need to feed my ego a little bit. Yo, how's it going, Grumble? We are currently working on collisions. So we got most of our collisions working, and we got our player colliding with like anything that we can activate. It'll activate now. And pressing, we handled every single or almost every single case scenario where the player presses E or they jump. Doesn't mess with anything. Colliding with our like room switchers or our checkpoints are good. I don't think will we die? Okay, yeah, we do die. We should start working on more of the player movement since we have all of this work. Let me fix one more thing with this, and that's if we're still in the hitbox here, what I think we do now is we deactivate whatever we were currently talking to, and the only way to reactivate it is to exit the area 2D and then go back into it. And I think we want to give the player the ability to, talk to it again. So what we've currently been doing is in our area 2D is once we activate it in our dictionary, we say, the collision queue of our body is equal to true, and that means it's already been activated. But I wonder how we could do this. We could say, we could create another function called reactivate body. And then include whatever body it is. That's one approach. And then basically at the end of our text box conversation, we would just grab a reference to it and say, hey, let's talk again. Yeah, creative outlet. I have a regular day job and finishing up uni, so all the game dev and music is just to de-stress and have something to think about other than obligations. Yeah, I did the same thing when I was in school. Like, even at work too. Like, I remember I had a nope. I still have the same book. This was like while I was in school and at work, and I would just like write in this book. I'm actually almost done with it too. Yeah, this is like everything that's been on my mind with game dev. I've had this. Let me see if I have a date here. This is from 2019. That's crazy. Oh my. Wow, that's crazy. It's been 4 years. So I guess I've been doing, I've been planning game dev for 4 years. I don't think I actually started until 3 years ago. like started hardcore, I mean. But yeah, it was fun. I remember like wanting to make a Civ game, like a Civ-like type of game. I'm really into like simulation games. So like Civ, obviously. If you've heard, I've never actually played it, but I think it's a really cool game. Dwarf Fortress. If you've heard of RimWorld, I'm really into RimWorld. What else? The pandemic years kind of went by. Yeah, they definitely did. I mean, honestly, it was great for me, I think. Like, it made me realize I want to do game dev, I feel like if the pandemic didn't happen, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't be here. Like, I wouldn't be streaming, I mean. But I did start game dev, like, right before the pandemic happened, so I don't know. Okay, let's finish this up. Just the things the devs have had to fix and why it's so interesting. Yeah, like I know the number one thing with Dwarf Fortress was that they had cats that could get drunk or like die of intoxication, and that was because they had a module for cats cleaning themselves, and whatever they cleaned themselves with, they would consume. So people would, the dwarves would drink beer, drop beer on the floor. The cats would get wet or their paws would get wet because they were walking on the floor, and then they would lick the beer off the floor or lick the beer off their paws, and then they would die of intoxication. Like, that's so funny. Do I still have plans on doing those kinds of games? I guess probably on a smaller scale, so the end is realistically in sight. So yeah, that's the problem. Like, I would love to make like a sophisticated simulation type of game, but I don't know if it's feasible. One, because I'm competing, quote unquote, competing against people who are also making simulation games, and I don't know if I can match one to their like. I don't know. Some people are just geniuses, and so making a simulation is like their number one thing to do. Whereas I enjoy playing simulations or like running simulations. And sure, I can make a decent simulation, but I think I'm probably better at making mechanics and stuff like that than actually making a simulation. But I would love to. But it's definitely more objective, right? Like, to make something as intricate as some sort of simulation. Like, they've been working on Dwarf Fortress for what, like over 20 years? I would love to be in their boat, Yeah, man, who doesn't love a game that's secretly just next level? Dude, I've been playing so much. So, one of the reasons why I've been ending my streams short lately was because I'm currently addicted to Civ 5. I played a little bit of, here. Give me 1 second. So I currently have 85 hours in the past 2 weeks, but I've been playing a lot of Civ. And I've been like watching a lot of videos on like how to optimize your playthroughs and stuff like that. And it's more of like a it's not really a spreadsheet thing. Like, I don't really look at spreadsheets, but yeah, like figuring out like what's the most like optimal move within your turns is it is intriguing. Like, dude, I've been staying up very late playing Civ, but I usually do other things on the side. But yeah, for the most part, it's like my brain is consumed, and like time flies when you're playing Civ. Never got into Civ, but I can relate. Yeah, it's like that for most games that are, like have a similar, like with tactic games, Paradox strategy. Yeah, it was like that for me in RimWorld. RimWorld also, like those games are very dangerous for me. Like, I try to I tried to avoid them. I didn't like if I knew I was gonna get addicted to Civ, like when I just downloaded it for fun. Just one more turn, exactly. Yeah, I do play on like the fastest. Like, I'm able to finish a game within within 12 hours. I'm able to finish a game. That seems high, but I think in the grand scheme of things, it's not that high. But actually, to be fair, I also quit a lot of games. Like, if I know I'm going to win, I quit, or if I know I'm going to lose, I quit. It's about the journey, not about the goal. Into some deep into a football manager despite not being a football fan. That makes sense. I feel like I've always found those games interesting. Like, even games like I've never gotten into FIFA and all those types of games, but I feel like it is interesting to like manage a team. I mean, there's gameplay involved, but like also managing your team seems like the interesting aspect. We didn't finish. Oh, wait, did we finish this? Let me see. Yeah, okay, yeah, let's go back into our text box. Okay, let's see. So, in our collision manager, maybe I should rename this to collision. Even though it's an area 2D, I think calling it a collision manager will help me just understand. Okay, on interactable, manage the body.activate. So on body.activate, I think what we'll do is, well, right now we're handling signs, and level manager dot text level manager dot output at activate text box, and then we grab our output. But I think what we should do instead is create a reference to this. So we should say level manager dot activate text box. And put ourself instead, and then on activate text box, we'll just grab the output. So, you know what's funny though is I remember writing this, and it's very, very like we have to rewrite this as well. There's so much to rewrite, but for this in particular, we talk to our level manager, and then our level manager communicates with our UI. And then like it's like this back and forth between the singleton and the UI node. So let's look at level manager real quick. And yeah, this is why, like, if I do, like, once I start working on the open source version, we have to rewrite so much here. So this is actually not an this is going to be our, well, like our dialogue node, or like our NPC, or whatever we want to call it. Let's call it we could call it NPC. Call it object, input object. Because it could be anything, really. And we'll say input object dot output. I think that is it. We also want to save a reference to this. Wait, what is? Oh yeah, there is so much here going on. Linux version when? Linux version, if you bother me to, I don't know. Julius Streams, how's it going? City Builders as well. Oh, City Builder, I'm trying to think. Have you ever played Tropico? That was another one that I like. I played it when I was a kid, though. A long time ago. Here, let me just look at my games. I'm kind of curious now. Tropico was one. Here, I can just show you guys what I play. Let's see, Civ has been going up there lately. Oh, Project Zomboid. It's not really it's a simulation game, but like it's more so like the world changes around you. Like the zombies get older, your character gets older, grows. It's like the human body is realistic, where like you'll break bones, you'll get scratches and stuff like that. But it's it's kind of like not it's like from the perspective of a single character. A lot of fun. RimWorld. Civ, obviously. Divinity is not a simulation game, but like the amount of like things that you can do in this game is so cool. Like the combination of like mechanics is very nice. Let's see what else. Warband is another one of those types of games. It's more so combat based. But it's kind of like Civ, where it's like you need to expand your army, stuff like that. I've never beat Warband though, or Mountain Blade in general. The gameplay is like an entire game is so long. My favorite sandbox game probably RimWorld. If I had to pick one, it would probably be RimWorld, because there's also like RimWorld is basically a combat version of Dwarf Fortress with animations and all that. I'm joining the Art is the Hardest team. I wouldn't know. I don't do any of my own art for the most part. I usually just edit art or usually it's either like I edit a few pixels, or like I make a simple 8x8 image, or sometimes even 16x16. But yeah, for the most part, it's me just editing images. Oh, wait, you said sandbox game, not simulate. I mean, is it considered a sandbox game? I'm not sure. Because if it's technically Terraria, I would say probably, right? I have 600 hours there, so yeah, I would say Terraria. Did I miss anything? Julia streams. I'm actually looking for a new coder for my fan game. Something I've been doing for months. Nice. Send a link if you have one. Yeah, actually, I know people have been. Sometimes I don't see links, so I wonder if it's like if I have the automod blocking something, where like you can't post links. But if that's the case, let me know. Or if you have me on Discord, send it there and I can showcase it here. Have I played Stardew? I've never played Stardew, actually. I feel like it would be a game that I would enjoy, but I've never played it. But yeah, what other games? Godot, of course. The best game of all. Dragon Age was a lot of fun. I don't think I have this many hours on it, but this was like one of my first RPG games besides like MMOs like RuneScape and stuff. But yeah, this was like my first fully fleshed out like single player RPG with like a story and everything involved. This was great. Sims, I wonder, the Sims, like, is it short for simulation? Because it technically, like, you kind of do simulate human actions and stuff like that. Kenshi's also good. What's my Discord? So if you click, there should be a Discord link on Twitch. What game have you got the most hours in? It looks like it's Dead by Daylight. I do have a lot of hours on Dead by Daylight. I'm not proud of these hours. It's because like I liked grinding for the game, like the battle pass and stuff like that. But not even that much. Like I feel like a lot of gamers have way more hours than me. Like I think I play video games a lot, but I get sick of games really quick. So like on average, like the games that I like the most have like 500 hours, and then that's it. I should be ashamed of myself. Yeah. Daisy, Rust. Like another game. Hey, Spray. Oh, this was a great game too. On Epic. If you guys, it's kind of like a single-player RPG. I'll just show you what the gameplay looks like. I mean, I remember this looking so much cooler when I was younger. This was a lot. I thought this game was like, I would love to.
You play D&D, and you go to the bathroom.
Hey guys, let's take a break. I have to pee.
If the light goes out,
You switched off the light. I'm peeing in here.
Probably self-promo. Oh, you could DM it to me and I'll show it off here.
What's this? Stone walls, columns, darkness. Where am I?
an unknown castle. Merciless monsters.
Kind of like Mountain Blade. Oh,
Giant bosses.
probably self-promo. Yeah, you could post it there.
Weapons and armors. Spells and magic.
I was gonna say DM me so I can see it, but I can look at where is self-promo. It looks so silly looking at it now, but I swear it looks better. But yeah, this was a great game. I feel like it's the epitome of like an indie game. Like they did really well, and they made an online version and all that. Celeste, of course. All right, I'm gonna stop. Oh, Eno. And have you heard of Eno? That's another one of those like strategy type of games. But I played this when I was very young. I don't know if I'm like. I would love to play it again and see how good it actually was. So, you know, I feel like as a kid you play anything and think it's good. Check your antimatter. Alright, I'll check my antimatter and then I'll check the DM Julius sent and then we'll get back into it. Nothing happened. 4 days and nothing happened. Well, I'll see you in another 4 days. Is 4:15 a good speedrun for the demo? Yeah, that is the lowest. That's like, I think that's the world record. The world record for memory is 4:15. Congratulations. So what I plan on doing, I'm saying this, but I don't know how long it's going to take. But I plan on, like, when I do the Kickstarter, I plan on doing a contest for people who like want to speedrun the game, and you know, the first, second, and third place are going to get like a certain tier for the game. So like I would assume maybe, I mean, the top tier would be like, I would say they would get like maybe the third tier reward or something like that, and then second would get the second, and then third would get the first tier. Something like that. Each one would include a free game or a free version of the Steam copy. But yeah. But yeah, 4:15, that I haven't seen 4:15. That is actually very low. Like even mine is like what is it? I think like my lowest value was 530. 530. All right, we didn't actually finish this. So let's go into text box, and what we're going to say is we need a reference to like our current object. Like I said, we'll finish this later, or we'll update the code for this later. But for now, let's just make a variable to the current object that we're talking to. My lowest is 432, but I haven't grinded it. Is it 432 really? 432 on the newest version? With the eyeballs? Damn, you guys, I can't believe you guys are getting better than me in my own game. Or you guys are better than me in my own game. Do you guys use mouse and keyboard or controller? Wait, there's a new version? So the I think since you got the whatever is on itch, I haven't updated it recently. So if you have the lasers, like, you know, the eyeballs that shoot beams at you, that's the newest version. Okay, let me not get distracted for 5 seconds and let's finish this. Okay, current object is equal to null. So what we'll do here is on the activate node. Oh, actually, wait a second. On activate node, we have the text inbox text array. We could just say here input object, and then input object. Or sorry, what is it? Current object is equal to input object, and then let's go back into our level manager and just include the array. Oh wait, we'll just say this. You weren't on the new. Oh, damn. I mean, yeah, like I said, 3. What'd you say? 415. That is still pretty. That is pretty low. That's lower than. I want to say that was lower than me because I think I got like. I think my lowest was 419. If I'm not mistaken. Man, I'm a strat guy. I'm a tesseract grinding. What's tesseract? Okay. I'm gonna start grinding. Oh. Don't start I mean, you can grind. Hopefully the mechanics are gonna be the same. Because like now I'm thinking we might remove acceleration from the player. Like we might have deceleration. But in terms of speed on the player, I think I might just make it instantly 70. We'll see. The reason why is it'll just make the game more consistent. Like people might be wondering like, hey, why am I not getting across fast enough or something like that, and this would help with that. But we shall see. Okay, on next text, wait, activate. Okay, current object is equal to input object, and then on, where is it? On deactivate text, or on player. So what we could do here is say level manager dot player node dot our collision manager dot current object. Or like, you know, yeah, dot collision manager dot collision queue. Dude, I don't know if this is good. We could also say we could make our life a little easier and have our player communicate, like just communicate this to the player and be like, hey, deactivate. Oh, actually, wait, yeah, I'm dumb. We can just say player dot collision manager dot reactivate body, and then this is where everything would happen here. All right, peeps, I'm calling it a day. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for stopping by in FCAT. See you around. Peace. Okay. Reactivate body. Let's get this done. So all we'll say is level manager dot player node dot collision manager is equal to, or sorry, dot collision manager dot reactivate body. Of our body, and that is it. Current body. And then in our collision manager, we'll just say collision queue of our body is equal to false. And that's it. Hopefully that fixes everything. There is one other thing that we might be worried about, and that's on body.activate. Let me just see. We would also need to make sure that activate input doesn't press true again. I don't think it will, but let's see what happens. Player node.collision manager dot reactivate body. Current body. Oh, current object. Okay, so we keep entering the... Yeah, activate input is set to true, and then exit cutscene, then we go into idle, and then we're going back into the cutscene state. I'm quitting Marathon Jam to speedrun the new version. Don't do that. By the way, oh wait, that's on Saturday. Usually we start on Fridays, but because April 1st is on Saturday, we'll do it there. But because it's April 1st, it's actually on Friday. I'm kidding. It's going to be on April 1st. Alright, let me try to figure this out. Because activate input is set to true, what we could do, technically, is it's already set. Let me see if this will work. It seems, I would assume going into the collision, or sorry, I guess because we're setting that value back to true, let me see what would happen if on the exit state of our cutscene, we could say player.activate input is set to false as well. Let's see if that fixes it. There we go. Cool. Seems like a pretty simple thing, but necessary for the for like future objects that we introduce. But we could also, like I said, I do want to change how this text box script works, because it's messy at the moment. It was like, yeah, seems like I was speedrunning it or something, probably. And we got it to work, and then we called it a day. So I'll rewrite this eventually, but I still think we need to finish all of our player states. Like, we still need to do the dash, we need to manipulate the movement speed, or like what we're gonna do with the like acceleration, deceleration, friction. Slide state doesn't work yet, so we'll do all of that. I'll be right back. I have some food on the stove. I'm gonna get that. Alright, it's in the microwave. Alright, what is next? Well, I guess we'll do the slide state. I think probably tomorrow is when we'll mess with the acceleration and stuff. We'll just finish up all our states today, all of our basic states. We still need to do everything in the neutral state, but that's gonna take, I think we're probably gonna need like 2 or 3 days to work on this. Let's go into our player here. This is gonna happen mostly in the fall state, is when you can transition into the slide state. So let's go into here. And okay. Oh, we messed up here. Speedrun attempt? Alright. Give me 1 second. Let me grab my food and I'll be right back. Alright, I'll see you, Octo. You want me to speedrun as you leave? Just getting my controller. Alright, sounds good. I'll still do the speedrun because them's are the rules. You know, oh yeah, I don't think our timer starts until we actually enter the game. So, right here, I'm just gonna lower the music volume. And 3, 2, 1. Oh, there we go. Enjoy, other viewers. Alright, I will. Let's see. Whoa. So far, so good until now. Ooh. No. Oh my god. So there is one. I would say it's a level design issue. That sometimes you don't reach the spike, and there's like some input required from the player, so that they could reach the not the spike, the spring. And unless you're familiar with like your input or like the player's position, respect to the player's input. Most people are going to struggle with it, so I have to figure out what to do there. Honestly, I just need to make things a little closer to each other, I think. And what I mean by that is, here, maybe we'll find a better room to represent what I'm talking about. Because like sometimes I subconsciously press right or left to get closer to an object, but a lot of people won't do that, especially if they're not used to platformers. So the design is based around that, which I don't think is wise. Like right here, technically, like usually if I want to get closer to a spring, I'll press left or right if it's, you know, to the left or right of me. Or like here. Oh, no, actually not there. One of the laser rooms has you tripping. It's probably the last one. The one with the portals? Cause yeah, that one is hard. Oh. I also need to make sure. Wait, dude. This has happened to me before, and I don't know if it's because my controller is broken. Yeah. Let me see something. Yeah, I think my controller is broken. Or my wire was touching the analog stick. Alright, here, wait. Let me lower the volume because it's actually... I think we need to fix the effect volumes too, because yeah, if you die enough, you're gonna get frustrated. And I think the sound design of this room or of these eyes are not good. So yeah, this is another example of one of those rooms where like sometimes you need to, like, there needs to be some input from the player for them to get closer to a spike, or sorry, to a spring, which is, yeah, like I said, not good level design. Like right there. Oh shit. Oh no. Yeah, this is probably the room, right? Like I got so close to the end and I just died. All right, let's not mess up anymore. But I will say this is the hardest room. Cuz it's like it's the longest room. Dude, yeah, oh my God. I'm going to play with the keyboard and mouse. Either that or maybe something is wrong with my code. We'll have to see. But do you play with the controller? Oh no. Alright. I don't know why. Octobits likes to see me suffer. I'm also very slow with the mouse. Okay. I'm switching back to the keyboard. I mean to the controller. Dude, but I don't... Oh wait, I disconnected my controller. You can see me, you can hear me sort of raging out of frustration. I'll have to see if it's my analog stick that's messing up, or if it's... Here, let's see. Yeah, dude, what the hell is going on? It's like not detecting input from my D-pad. Maybe my D-pad is broken. Because yeah, right now I'm using the analog stick and it seems to be fine. The up arrow, up D-pad is not working for me. And I prefer to use a D-pad over analog sticks because it's just more... I don't know, it seems more... You know what it is? Okay, I just have to... No, bro. Oh my god. I might just quit here. Like, up left doesn't work sometimes. Here, let me try. Yeah, right there, you see? Like, I'm trying to dash up right. It's not working. If it happens again, I'm gonna end it here. All right, that was on me. That was on me. It seemed the second I threat the game or my controller that I'm gonna quit, it seems to be working fine now. I swear it's not. I swear I'm not, you know, making anything up. There we go. Oh my god. But yeah, something is wrong with that with my controller. I have to see what's going on. Or, you know, maybe it's a bug. But I kind of doubt it. Unless other people have been experiencing the same problem, then we'll know it's a bug. I've noticed that the up in precision platformers as a whole seem to not work for me. You know, so I remember something similar happening to me in Celeste, and it actually, you know, made me kind of rage. Not rage, but like, you know, get really. It only made me smash my controller once or twice. And yeah, I remember it happening in Celeste. So maybe you're right, but I feel like that would be like a bug, right? So like, and I feel like Celeste is one of the most polished platformers. So I don't know if it's them. I feel like maybe it's a hardware issue with controllers. Maybe, if that's a problem with a lot of platformers, maybe it's a hardware issue. Maybe I also have to disable the analog stick versus the D-pad. Like, you know, if you're using one, make sure the other one is not grabbing input. Yeah, those are Godot images. I was using it for debugging, and then I never removed it. So in the current version on Steam, those are there. Stopped playing Celeste a little bit ago because the same thing. Oh, so maybe it is, because I do remember experiencing it with Celeste. I always thought it was just an issue with my controller, and randomly the issue would solve itself. Okay. So I think we fixed the dialogue problem, right? We'll do... Our plan for today was what? Animations and... Where was it? Fixed collisions is done. Dash state and movement. Or, no, I don't think we're going to do movement today. We're going to do dash state and animations. And we'll do the slide state. I think we already finished the slide state. We just don't have the player transitioning it. Transitioning to it just yet. Use 14 controllers with the same. Interesting. So maybe, yeah, maybe it is like I would assume it might be like a hardware issue. Because there's no, I feel it's hard for me to believe that Celeste would have, you know, like they're a precision platformer. For them to have bugs in literal, like the most important part of their game, which is input, would be pretty bad, right? Okay, let's go into our false state, and if get next to wall is true or not equal to null, we enter the slide state. So I think this is where I gave up, or something happened where like we were debugging this and this wasn't working. It's also distracting to have food in front of my face. So we're gonna do some light debugging. Next to right wall isn't printing anything. Collide with areas and bodies on collision mask 2. Let's see our world here. Oh, we're not on the second layer here. We're on the third. I don't know why this is unchecked here. We could set it to 3 and maybe that'll solve our problem. Let me see. Alright, so we are colliding target position. This isn't used anymore. Oh, well, in 4.0 it's called target position, but in 3 it is called cast 2. .get cast 2. And there we go. "18-minute speed run because lasers." How a mechanic could be so much fun and so much cringe at the same time. You know, it's funny, like, I feel like that mechanic looks really good when you play it, like, really well, but, like, if if it's your first time experiencing the mechanic, it's very frustrating. So, yeah. Also, like, sometimes the most fun mechanics to code are also the least fun to play. Because it's difficult. But, like, because you code for so many different, case scenarios where, like, something can't be cheesed, so then, it's frustrating for the player. Everybody wants to, the easy way out, right? I think I'm eating eggs and, like, fish right now. I feel like there's some, like, really, really small bones in the fish. And I'm just eating through it. Alright, so we entered this slide state, and it seems to be working fine. All of our, like, this is the same physics that we had in 4.0, so, that's good. We need a button for the climb state, which I think we do have, but let me see. If they go in, they come out. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. That's the bigger thing I'm worried about. I don't mind eating bones, but small sharp bones. Oh, there we go. It's Z, which is weird for us, but it does work. Going into the jump states, it seems, is Jump velocity. Okay, we don't have jump velocity anymore. We have max jump velocity. I believe, right? Max jump height, max jump velocity. Okay. And there we go. Cool. Oh, we don't have anything handling, also this is a problem. Our jump velocity should get us, like, at least to the end here. No matter what. So either we need to make our movement speed higher, or we need something to automate movement to get across. Or, you know, we could just leave it this way. And people have to learn. So either you press the... Here, let me... This is like the one thing that I found frustrating when people played my game, was that when they weren't doing the thing I wanted them to do, I would, you know... Obviously you can't hold it against them, but you still... I can't help but, you know... be upset when I see something, right? So one of those issues is that someone might want to go to the right side, but they're not holding the correct button. So how this game works is if you hold the climb button, you know, you can climb up and, you know, you can climb up and down the walls. If you don't hold any... Oh, also, if you hold the climb button, you can jump in any direction. So if I want to jump to the right, I can jump to the right. But if you're... Let's say you're holding the climb button and you're jumping to the left, this is what happens. Right? But if I'm not holding the climb button and I jump and I hold left, you'll see here that I'm forced to jump to the right. And this is so that, like, let's say there's two walls that are parallel to each other. It makes wall jumps a lot easier. But it also gives technically it gives the player more of a reason to, or more freedom to jump in whatever direction they want. Like sometimes they want to just speedrun their jumps, and then sometimes they want to jump over a pillar. So like your options are to either jump over, like let's say I wanted to jump to the other side of this wall, I can. It does look weird at the moment. We're gonna fix all of that. It does look very, I would say it looks very weird at the moment actually. But we're not done coding the player states. But we will fix that in time. So I think what we would do for this in particular is that we want to have a third raycast in the middle, and make sure that the player only enters the climb state when two raycasts are being hit. So right now we have one we only have one here and one here. We want to check for the middle one and the top one, or the middle one and the bottom one, in order to enter the slide state. It's kind of like, you know, almost like, you know, physics in real life. Like you wouldn't start sliding if your feet were touching the, you know, the edge of a wall, right? So we'll make that look better. But for now, it's fine. Back from the shower, welcome back. Okay, so I went on a tangent and I forgot what I wanted to do. Let's see. I'm gonna move this bowl of rice. In real life, I have 6 rays cast away from me at the same time. Oh, at all times. All right. Dude, I forgot what we wanted to do. Like, what was the issue here? Okay, let's see. Slide state. We jump over. Oh, wasn't there... Didn't we crash or something here? No, it seems like it's fine. Never mind. Alright, I guess we're done. When it comes to the physics of this object, what we do is we actually have the player on a different layer, and then when we press down jump, we're able to fall through to this platform. I'll work on that. We can do that tomorrow. Today we're gonna finish up all the animations because that's gonna take a hot minute. All right. Let me unplug my controller. All right, I'll see you, Sticks. Thanks for stopping by, man. Okay. Let's do it. So we're gonna need... I wonder if I could just grab everything from Godot 2, or maybe we could just grab everything from the original player. I could save it as a scene, throw it into the player. Call it a day there. Let's see. Player 14. Yeah, this has all of our animations. Let me see. Save branch as scene. We'll save this in the player. We'll call it... I'm gonna call it original animation player. Because we're gonna make some changes. So let me duplicate it. Oh. Original. Animation player. Alright, and we'll get rid of this one and then just throw this one in here. Oh wait, this one. Cool. Oh! The textures aren't saved, and that's because the reference to the sprite is different now. I wonder if it's because... Here, let me try renaming this the sprite 2D. Because that's what it's called on the original player. Wait, no, it's called... Dude, here, let's try replicate. I don't know if it's gonna change anything, but we'll try. We called it light and sprite. Oh, there we go. That seemed to fix it immediately. The issue is that I want the frame, like, I don't want it to be like this. I want to make our own separate node for this. We could save this as sprites, or I mean, we could leave it as sprites, maybe. You have a new hobby? What's that? Alright, edge balance is not something we use. Fall animation. Speedrunning this game. I thought you were going to say, like, your new hobby is going to be, you know, ruining the life of the developer of Memory for making a terrible game. Okay, so, dude, plugging this in made our life so much easier, but I don't like that the fact, like, we have a node here and then a sprite. Although, eventually I might want to, let me see, if I rename this to, let's say, test, does it still save everything? It seems like it does, so I wonder if I move this. It also saves it, it seems. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So we actually don't need this. And yeah, we can keep the same animation player. You suck, yeah. I do suck. I'm just not at platformers. Or not at my own platformer. Alright, so what we need to do now is we're going to go into our states. Just go into the script here. And actually, we're going to put this in state.gd. Oh, and we already have it, play animation. So whenever we enter a new state, this is where we play the animation. And what I like to do, for the most part, is be consistent with the states and the animation name. So, for example, let me just make sure that this object is unique and that our animations are unique, because I don't want to mess with our old player. So let's go in here and make this a local node. And I think that's actually all we have to do. Because if we go into this player, yeah, the animations are consistent. Okay. So let's go back into player here. Oh, and is our name consistent here? Anim is equal to animation player. Okay. OS streaming? Yeah. So does Mac have more respect over Windows? Because I remember Windows was always the top dog until you get older, until you get, you know, the Linux master race people. Okay. I'm gonna finish this up and then we're gonna call it a day here. Because everything else is gonna require like 20 more hours and I'd rather start with a fresh brain for that. So let's go into each of our states and we'll just say play animation, or actually in our enter state we'll say play animation of get name. Actually, it's gonna depend on what it is, on what we. Here, let me. I keep talking and I don't know what to do. And we're gonna say get name, and we just want to make sure that our names are consistent here. So if we're running, we're in the idle state. Here, let me close everything so I don't get distracted. We have to open each of our states. Okay. Idle, move, jump, fall, slide. Okay, so for the slide animations, things are going to be running a little differently. There are a bunch of edge cases that we need to handle for the slide state. And the neutral and cutscene state, we're not going to make an animation for just yet, but this is probably going to use the idle state. And dash. We didn't do the dash today. We'll finish that tomorrow. Honestly, I think it's basically done. We just have to include it. Windows users, Handshake Linux users, at least on that. I see. I feel like the only people that I've never used Mac, so I don't know, but I feel like it's very popular with like design, people that are into design. So like anything art related or like Photoshop, stuff like that, they usually use Mac. Seems like it's the standard. Using GitHub Desktop instead of Git. Can't believe this. Yeah, everything is wrong with me. I use GitHub Desktop. I use Windows. What else? I play Dead by Daylight. If I do use Linux, I use Ubuntu. Spotify as a browser. I mean, as a program. Spotify as a program is so good, though. I'm pretty sure everyone uses it as a program. Everyone I know, at least. Objectively bad. Okay. Alright. Play animation of get aim. So in the player state, we need to make sure, or sorry, in our animations, we want to make sure that these are consistent with each other. So like, oh, I forgot, we have like transition animations too. This is gonna be annoying as hell. Let's rename some of this. So this is idle. What's our move animation? So we have like a idle run. Like this is it's a transition animation. What I do with transitions, let me see, is this it? Okay, yeah. We'll rename that to move. Jump will rename to jump. I didn't even think about the transition animation. I'll have to think of what to do there. What I'm thinking we'll do is probably on the enter state, for every enter state, we'll play like a transition animation, and then we're gonna have to run like some sort of animation manager in the states here, which are gonna connect signals to each other, check which one is finished, and then play the corresponding animation. It's gonna be annoying. 7:40, I'm getting used to the cancer room. What was my best time? 7:40. I think you already beat the world. I want to say you beat the best time already. You beat my time. I think you beat my time. No, you didn't beat my time. But you beat everyone else's time besides my time. My time is like 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Well, Spotify is just bad. They pay absolutely nothing to the artist, like 8 cents a listen or something like that. Wait, what? Oh, 0.08 cents. Right. I was gonna say 8 cents, dude. They're making bank. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. That's capitalism. Yep. By 3 orders of magnitude. Yeah, I just looked it up. Spotify does not pay artist royalties for the most part. It depends on their relationship with the labels or distributors, but I think obviously it's going to vary. Like, if you don't have a label or a publisher, I wonder what their like one-on-one relationships are with, like, you know, indie bands and stuff like that. Yeah, because I'm sure some people get paid way more than others. I would assume, maybe. Or I guess I wouldn't be surprised if some people got paid more than others. The average payout per stream on Spotify is 0.003. So if you pay $10, let me see, let's calculate this. $10 per, I don't know how much music I listen to, but I would say on average, I would say I listen to 100,000 minutes, right? At least 100,000 minutes per year. Divided by 60, what is that? Yeah, that seems about right. Honestly, it's probably in the 2000s. Well, I would say most people don't listen to more than 100,000 minutes. So, so let's say each song is like 3 minutes or something like that. Times 0.003. So their payout, is this right? This is like some pretty skewed math, but they might be paying out $100 a year to artists. But yeah, these numbers are so skewed, like who knows what these values are. And how much am I paying? I don't know how much I'm paying for Spotify. Let me see. Oh, my phone is dead. I think it's, I want to say it's $10 a year, but I might be wrong. Because if it's 3 cents, like, well, if my math turns out to be right, then it actually makes sense for them. But I also think I'm on the higher end of listeners on Spotify. Like, I actually listen, I think my average is around 200,000 minutes. But I doubt people are reaching those numbers. I'm sure 100,000 is also pretty high. But okay, let's say worst case scenario, they're paying $100, like, per user. It's $100, and if it's $10 a year, like if you're paying for the platinum or whatever, not platinum, you know, the premium or whatever, that's 100. Let's say they're only making $20 a year from like the worst listeners, right? Like I would technically be their worst listener because I use their app so much. But yeah, like I said, these numbers, like there's no backing to these numbers. I kind of just made them up. What's considered a stream on Spotify? I would assume it's a single song. Or wait, yeah, like what is considered like listen time? Or like what if someone downloads the song? Like that's another thing. A single playback of a track, but what if they don't finish the entire track? Alright, so in a nutshell, Spotify Spotify bad. I think that's the moral to the story. Or just like every company is bad. Aren't we just talking about Epic Games doing some pretty shady stuff too? Okay, so yeah, we have our animations playing. It looks a little weird because we don't have the transition animation playing anymore. But yeah, it does work. The jump animation doesn't play though. Wonder why. Let's see your slide. Okay, let's fix all of this. Oh, maybe we just don't have anything running in the jump state. Enter state, play animation, get name. And for the slide state, play animation, get name. Bandcamp is alright because you actually pay for the album however much the artist wants. And the fees are very... Oh, really? Interesting. Wait, why isn't our jump animations or... Oh. So we're playing the jump animation. Oh, jump is just wrong, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, this is... we want the start jump animation. So yeah, this is going to be an issue because now we have to handle... let me see. Run jump, because we have run jump and we also have idle jump. Or do we? We have run jump arc. We have... idle jump arc. Like, dude, there's so many animations we have to play. $5.18, nice. $5.18. That dude, you're really fast. I think you beat my score already. You gotta download stuff and use separate software to make a playlist. I see. And you could download lossless files. I see, I see. I've never used Bandcamp. I don't even know like what it looks like. Like what's the typical user experience for Bandcamp? But yeah, I think we're gonna end the stream here. We finished the... I think we kind of bullshitted most things, but we fixed the collisions. I think that was important. The slide animation is done. Dash state is a easy fix. Animations, yeah, we're gonna have to... I think we have to dedicate like a good 1 or 2 hours to that. But starting Saturday is when we're gonna go hardcore with our streams. I'm thinking probably at least 5 hours per stream. Finished the speedrun right on time. Yeah, you did. So yeah. Well, yeah, tomorrow we'll do another stream. But yeah, starting Saturday, dude, I'm gonna work so hard on this game. I promise. And I said it out loud, so now I have to do it. The playback options on the website are meant for previews and stuff. I see. So you download most of the Bandcamp sounds. Can I post the link of that game jam? Yep. This game jam is hosted by me and the Soul development community. So yeah, if you guys are interested, here I'll even post Soul development. So this is our yeah, for those of you who are in the stream now, Soul development r/Soul development, reddit.com. This is our subreddit, and we're hosting the jam. Yeah. So yeah, this is our 3rd year doing the jam. So here I can actually show you guys what it looked like. Oh my god, I keep typing the wrong thing. So yeah, this was the first one. We had 117 entries. This one was pretty good. This was I also submitted memory to this one. What I miss? You missed me raging and smashing my controller. And we're gonna end the stream pretty soon. Make Chrome faster. No. Yeah, and then this one. Hey, wait, we actually had way less entries for this one. I wonder why. Well, let's hope this one does better. But yeah, if you win, you get the jam winner role, and your game also gets featured on the subreddit. So by feature I mean we'll just pin it to the top here, and if you have like a trailer or something, we'll include it as the pin post. So you can submit a game you're already working on. Yeah, I've submitted memory twice, and I'm gonna do it for the third time. For this 3rd jam. And then on top of that, if you have like a devlog or something that you want to post, you post it into the criteria of the jam. So like, yeah, there's like, if you've ever participated in a jam before, usually you could post your project, but then there's like, you can see here we had the optional devlog. If you want to add like, just if you don't want to write a devlog, maybe you just want to write the changes you made, or like a message to the players that are going to play your game, stuff like that. Yeah, it's peer reviewed, I guess. So like everyone who participated in the jam has a vote. So I'll be voting on your game, and you'll be voting on my game. That changes things for me. Rubs hand. Yeah, it's great. Like so. If you're competitive and stuff, definitely go for like trying to win. But also, just getting the feedback is really great. I get so much feedback from participating. And yeah. And you're judged based on regular jams. So innovation, fun, graphics, audio, polish. And then progress is it's kind of subjective really, but we put it there as a criteria in case, comparing, like a project that was started, since the start of the jam, you only have 1 month to make a game compared to you or me who have been working on a project for, a much longer period. So yeah, get the Linux version. Yeah, I'll do that soon. TM. All right, let's see who's streaming. Oh, did I post the link? I did. Oh, and here is the subreddit for anyone interested. We got Irish. We got I don't. I think I follow this person, but I don't know who they are. Let's do simple game dev.
Audiences are raving.
I actually don't know who this is. But their stuff looks cool, so let's do it. All right, I'll see you guys. Till next time. Bye.